Zocalo. This is the place for presidential inauguration, military parades, major holidays, and concerts. This is where the city converges for events of importance. Right behind me is the main plaza in Mexico City. It's called the Zocalo. Locals call it the Zocalo. Even though the Zocalo is really just the surrounding area where you put the flag mast, the gigantic flag over there. That's the only area that's really the Zocalo. The rest is just a plaza. And some compare it to the Red Square in Moscow, even though they say this is bigger. So we're going to explore the buildings around the Zocalo. We're going to find out all the history regarding this place. Stay with us. This building you see right here, where it stands, used to be the housing complex where the emperors, the Tlatoanis of this native land used to live. Montezuma, Cuauhtémoc, these were their largest states. And Tlatoani, which is basically our word for emperor, means the man who has the last word. It's a pretty accurate description of the emperors. But when the conquest came, Cortés took possession of these structures and tore them down and built what is now called the National Palace. So the bell you see right there is the bell that was rung by the priest Miguel Hidalgo in 1810 when he initiated the movement of independence from Spain in Mexico. So that bell was brought from Guanajuato to Mexico City to be installed here in the facade of the National Palace. Okay, now that golden terrace right there, every September 15th, to commemorate Mexico's independence, the president comes out to address his subjects. Mexican people are, this place, the Zocalo, this square is packed. I mean, just literally packed. He addresses a symbolic call to arms toward independence. The phrase is Viva Mexico, kind of like the Vive la France. It happens probably everywhere that emancipated itself from an oppressing country. Well, it happens here as well. Folks, the Aztecs were not originally settled in this land, in Mexico City. They were not from here. They were from the state of Nayarit, from a place called Chicomostoc. And that was a place of many caves. But their deity, Huitzilopochtli, their main sun deity, told them that they should leave their land and find a very specific sign. And where they found this sign, they would settle. The god apparently told them that they should find an eagle perched on a nopal cactus eating a serpent. Well, the place where they found that symbol 300 years after they left the state of Nayarit was here in Mexico City in a place they called Huitziland because it was full of hummingbirds, the place of hummingbirds. And to symbolize that encounter where they finally found that sign, there's a statue right here. This is the place where they found that. That is the story behind the Mexican flag symbol. So it's a very colonial building. Back in the day, there used to be a large open-air market, and these archways were used as basically the marquees or facades. This is very European-style buildings and architecture, and it just takes you to another era. But we're here. It's contemporary 21st century Mexico City. This is the equivalent right now. Officers? For many centuries, Spain was conquered by Arabian people, by the Moors, by the Arabs. So that means Spanish culture has Middle Eastern influences in its architecture and its names and many of the things they do. When they conquered Mexico, a lot of that influence came over here. There's expressions that we have in Spanish that are of Arabic descent. And one of the things that Spanish would use because of the Arabian influence they inherited now, even after they were emancipated from them, was the use of tiles. But they call it talavera. And in Spain, they would call this the Queen's Talavera. But when they came to Mexico, it started being produced in the state of Puebla, so it became Talavera Poblana. And in many places of Mexico, palaces, churches, homes, you will see the influence of such a conquest from Arabians to Spain, to Castile. So you see that characteristic here as well. Such a concentration of humanity. It is a daunting experience to be in the middle of this ocean of people. So this place is just full of history. You have your vendors, you have your cathedrals, you have your government buildings, you have the American Embassy. You have all these different features that can help you navigate through the Zocalo. Okay, so we've explored the Zocalo and the history of the buildings adjacent to it, and it's pretty neat. But I have a feeling there's more to see in this megapolis of a city. So stay with us, folks. It's Crossing South. Let's keep exploring. Some of these traditions are as old as they are charming, and I'm happy they have not died out. Hello there! Thank you for watching that Crossing South video on the KPBS YouTube channel. If you like that, click the subscribe button up here so you can watch more videos like that. Take care. Bye-bye.